Like Brad Marchand, Tom Cruise is 63. Scrub a dub, big dub for J-Dub. Don't do it, they'll die. Blumhouse is shocked. Hashtag not my cat in the hat. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. All that and more this week on News Dump.
That's right, Mac. We are back with a news dump and sad news out of Hollywood. Michael Madsen has passed away at the age of 67.
He notoriously Tarantino guy, right? Reservoir Dogs, everyone remembers him from that. Also in Thelma and Louise, Free Willy, a Goo and I favorite, staple of our childhood. Donnie Brasco and the Kill Bill movies. Goo, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone have more acting credits than what Michael Madsen has on IMDb. 346 acting credits, with still 18 yet to be released. So I'm sure there is someone out there, but right now, leader in the clubhouse for most acting credits I've ever seen, Michael Madsen with 346.
Yes, a Tarantino mainstay and maybe one of the more iconic roles, if not in cinema, at least in the 90s. His stuck in the middle with you scene in Reservoir Dogs. You hear me?
Great fucking scene.
Yeah.
Great song, by
It's
the way.
amazing.
I don't hear that song enough.
He's dancing to it. He's getting so much joy. What a wonderful scene.
Yeah, it is a great scene.
Tough loss, but R.I.P. Michael Madsen.
Only
News
67.
Dump. 67, heart attack. News dump. Happy birthday to the now 63-year-old stuntman, Tom Cruise.
We bow down to our Lord and Savior. We are not worthy.
We're not worthy. Swing.
Tom Cruise, 63, making blockbuster movies. Michael Madsen, 67, dead.
Well, there's a 4-year difference.
True. Good point. Right.
Anything can happen in 4 years.
I did age horribly in my 4 years of college.
Although, didn't Cruise say something like he wants to act until he's 100 and then he assumes that he'll be living until he's 300?
If anyone can live to 300, Tom Cruise can do it.
I guess we'll jump to this really quick. News dump. Steven Spielberg, let me find what it is. Either way, he said he has no plans of retiring from making movies. How old is Steven Spielberg?
If Tom Cruise is 63, Spielberg's got to be 75, 80.
He's got to be in his 70s, if not close to 80, if not 80.
We've talked about this a couple of times. I don't remember the last Spielberg movie that I legitimately loved. That's a good question for you and I, and for the folks at home. What's the last Steven Spielberg
78.
that you were like, oh, this movie's amazing? I can't recall one.
I mean, I think also he'll keep making movies. It's a Clint Eastwood thing. It's just that your production of how many movies that you make kind of slows down. News dump. Opening this week at the box office, it actually opened on July 2nd, was Jurassic World 4, Jurassic Park 7, Rebirth 1.
Yeah. It made $30.5 million on its opening day, Wednesday.
Pretty good.
On Roddy T's, it has 51% from the critics, 72% from the audience. So it sounds like Met's a Met. It sounds like it's pretty much exactly like the last two movies that no one really liked and that people are just accepting.
No, so Met's a Mets is better than the garbage that we've gotten on the last two.
No, it's got almost the exact same Rotten Tomatoes scores as the second Jurassic World movie.
Yeah, the second one, which is... Oh, wait, no. No, Lost World at 52% is the one that came out in 97. It's right around there.
Yes, and you don't like that movie.
I don't love it, but it kind of reminds me of that movie. Now, I have seen Jurassic World Rebirth, and there are some things that I think you can take away from it and run with. I think focusing on the dinosaurs, focusing on the atmosphere, getting back to the parks, I think that's the way to go. If I were them, and this is not a review of the movie yet, we'll do that next week. Don't have the same actors in any of the movies. Replace the actors every single time. Put the focus back on the dinosaurs. Put the focus back on being scared behind trees and shrubs. Have people be amazed by the dinosaurs again. That's what we need to do. And I'm not saying that you're going to have Oscar award-winning movies every time. But I think that that's the more sustainable way of building this franchise. Don't build it around the people. Don't build it around the characters. Don't build it around humans. Don't clone humans. We don't care about that. The cops say it doesn't matter. You need to make the dinosaurs the stars again. Don't mutate the dinosaurs. That's stupid. We don't need to up the ante. Dinosaurs are scary as is. We don't need to make them more scary. Just open a book, pick out different dinosaurs, maybe not the ones that we've been using for 30 years. Actually, what year is it? Is it 30? 1993? For 30 years, pick some new dinosaurs, make them scary, but also don't use the same people. Don't give the people superhuman abilities. Just make them people.
So Jurassic World Dominion 2022, the second Jurassic World movie, has a 77% audience score. This has a 72% audience score.
Audience score doesn't matter.
That's not good, Goo. It does when it comes to these movies because it's all about the audience. Hear me out, Goo. This universe is dead. This franchise is dead. These movies blow, and I am the biggest Jurassic World fan on the planet, maybe. That first reboot, I enjoyed more than most. And they have absolutely lampooned this franchise. This franchise blows. It's rudderless. It has no direction. I agree. What they needed to get back to was the claustrophobia of the first movie that they've had a hard time really replicating in the next 6. But we are now 7 movies in, and they have 1.5 hits. This franchise is dead. I have no desire to watch any Jurassic Park movies, any Jurassic World movies. This had so much potential. It reminds me a bit of Star Wars after The Force Awakens, where there are a lot of people that love that movie. Some people didn't necessarily care for it, but it was a good enough launch pad for the next iteration, and then they just fucking crashed and burned, and it's exactly what's happened here.
I would say it's more like the Halloween franchise, where you have a 40-dogger at the top to start it off, then you have diminishing returns, then you have like a Halloween 4 that's pretty solid, a good little launching pad. Then you fall off completely with 5 and 6. Then you come back again a little bit later with Just Halloween, the third Just Halloween, and then you fumble the bag once again.
Yeah, see, to me, like the last 2 Jurassic World movies were like fine. You got
Bad.
some SDA.
Bad.
And this movie's exactly like that.
You haven't seen this movie.
I know, because I don't need to. It's exactly like it. It's got the exact same formula.
News dump. Ironheart has started, farted, and is now done.
Good. I'll tell you what. Marvel, I would say, we were hypercritical of Marvel television coming out of the pandemic. We were really expecting high highs. And what we've come to know the Marvel television series as is sort of filling in gaps, never really remotely getting close to 40 dogs, but telling some fun, little decent stories to hold you over for the movies. And Ironheart is exactly that. It fits in with like the meat of most of these Marvel shows. It's much better than their worst stuff. It's not as good as the best stuff, but it's like in that middle range that does its job. It's a little fun. It's a little enthralling. And Goo, I'll tell you what, they did something in this series that I enjoy.
I know, but the issue is that
for years
they put it out. They put it all out in 2 weeks, and
I love that.
I haven't had a chance to watch it all, and it's been spoiled.
Well, that's on you. It's a new Marvel. It's supposed to be nuts.
I don't have the ability to binge.
Also, this concludes Phase 5. Puts an exclamation point, I would say, on Phase 5. If you haven't watched Ironheart, please do. It's 6 episodes. It's probably altogether maybe like 4.5 hours, something like that. It's, again, not the best thing they've ever done, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's worth watching for sure, especially if you are an MCU fan.
I get to watch for 10 to 15 minutes a day on my phone. So as soon as that is done, we'll talk about it.
What you need is a flight so you can catch up on all your TVs and movies.
News dump. Speaking of Marvel, Brad Pitt, during his media blitz for F1, is saying that young actors today get caught up in the you have to have a franchise or you have to be a superhero. But he keeps telling them, don't do it. They'll die.
The problem is What he's not acknowledging is Brad Pitt is the franchise, right? If you build it, they will come with Brad Pitt. You put Brad Pitt in a movie, it's going to make money. He is the 1%. So I guess it's sound advice, but it doesn't really apply because Brad Pitt can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Because he came up during an era where, first off, there were franchises. Rocky, Rambo, Indiana Jones. So it isn't like there weren't franchises at the time.
That's pre-Brad Pitt.
Though. No, but what I'm saying, though, is like he did come up when there were franchises. But he was
a different story, though.
But he was able to jump in when you could make other movies that weren't franchises, weren't superhero movies, and build your star power. Right now, actors do need to, first off, not only build their star power, but also get paid.
Yeah, and sort of what you're getting at and what Pitt's alluding to is what Matt Damon's been saying for a couple of years, right?
DVDs.
Like we're not able to make the types of movies we were making in the 90s. And it is a good point, but I mean, that's blame the consumer. Like we're the fucking morons eating up the seventh Jurassic World movie because it fucking blows. Like that's what I'm talking about here. Like we don't need that shit. And if you just stop giving it to us, we're not going to complain because it's not good, number one. But the studio execs, right, are probably looking at the bottom line and having a hard time greenlighting things. But why has A24 had so much success over this last decade? Because they're coming in and making those movies that no one had been making for 20 years. And
or they're buying them up. They're buying them
up. Goo.
Yeah.
Eating all your points.
A24, Neon, studios like that.
Yes. Yep.
But also, let's just point out that Pitt is in the Oceans franchise. He jumped into Deadpool and Deadpool 2. So, can't do that.
Cameo.
It's an all-time cameo. Also, do you think he was telling his co-star, I can't think of his name, the other racer in F1? What's his name?
He was Joshua Pierce in the movie. Oh,
Joshua Pierce.
Damson Idris.
Okay, so he's been rumored to be the new Black Panther and possibly James Bond. So do you think that he's been telling him, don't do it, they'll die?
That would be interesting. I wouldn't want him to be the new Black Panther. I don't think he can act. You got to get someone that's at least close to Boseman. He'd probably be fine as James Bond. I could see him as James Bond.
Yeah, but what was good about Boseman, though, is that he was really good at not standing out and letting the other person get the spotlight.
It's hard to do. It's very hard to do. And maybe I don't know. Maybe Idris can get there. Who knows?
News Dump. Blumhouse, Jason Blumhouse, the runner of the Blumhouse production company, is stunned.
Of the house.
He is stunned that Megan 2.0 has failed. He said, we all thought that Megan was like Superman. We could do anything with her. We could change genres. We could put her in the summer. We could make her look different. We could turn her from a bad guy to a good guy.
What a distorted view on the property that they own. Like, so first of all, Megan 2.0, I think made 10 million opening weekend. The first movie made 30 million opening weekend. So that is tremendously bad.
Yes.
I don't know where he got this impression from. The first movie did much better than they anticipated, but that didn't mean we wanted Megan as Superman, Megan as this, do all be all character. That's not at all. This perception is insane. Like, I don't know where he got this from.
Like, I could see maybe making 3 Megans and then being like, okay, we have squeezed this rag as hard as we could. All the juices have come out. Let's try a genre switch.
Megan struck me as something that would end up on Paramount Plus or Netflix, and they would make streaming movies of it, but not big theater blockbusters like they tried with this one.
News Dump. Got a trailer for the big movie on its way, and that is Edgar Wright's The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell. This looks like good old-fashioned Hollywood fun.
I like Glenn Powell. I like Edgar Wright, so I'm probably going to like this movie.
Yeah.
Right? And the premise of it is interesting. There's a game show with all these killers,
reality TV-esque type thing, and obviously the first one's great, and that's why you might say you might take pause. And yes, Matt, you haven't seen it. Okay,
hand up on me. I have not seen the.
I figured as much. When you put your hand up, that's what I was going to guess. First one is great, but I love the fact that they are taking someone that is borderline a Hollywood star. I say borderline because he's not from the bygone era of people being actual Hollywood stars.
He's an up-and-comer.
He's an up-and-comer. He's in close to his 40s, though, so not that up-and-coming.
He was in The Dark Knight.
And then Edgar Wright makes really good movies, really stylized, slick-looking movies.
Yes, and this is the first movie that Edgar Wright and Michael Cera will be working on since Scott Pilgrim. Michael Cera is going to be in this movie as well.
Michael Cera's playing Glenn Powell in this movie?
I think this movie is going to be baseline good. I'm not expecting it to be like close to the best movie of the year, but I bet it'll be fun.
News dump, not news mump. It's early. Sorry, guys.
You get the bumps.
Got a trailer for hashtag not my cat in the hat. Bill Hader's doing the voice. By the way, Bill Hader introducing the teaser the day before. He just doesn't care. He does not care.
Yeah, so it's just Bill Hader doing Bill Hader, which I don't love. By the way, you skipped over, I think, the most prominent trailer of the week.
What did I do? Oh, sorry.
Especially if it's animated, like, get super crazy with it, Bill. You have the capability of it. Don't just be Bill Hader.
I don't like the animation style either.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that too. I agree. Also appetite. Who wants this? Who's needing this?
And if you're getting Bill Hader, have him be the master of a bunch of different disguises.
Yeah, I do not care for this whatsoever.
Be turtly enough for a turtle party. He can do voices.
That's the craziest thing in the world. You have one of the funniest guys on the planet just doing his regular ass voice for a cartoon. Makes no sense.
Have him do what he does on South Park. He sits there and he laughs. He's at table reads and he laughs. That's it. News up. Sorry, Mac. Go ahead.
We also got the Project Hail Mary trailer, Goo. This is the next project from Phil Lord and Chris Miller, starring Ryan Gosling. Premise, I believe it's a book that came out within the last decade. The premise is Gosling is a teacher who is sent 12 light years away from Earth to save humanity after the sun begins to erode. This hits theaters March of next year, and also co-stars Sandra Hüller, I believe is her name. She was in a couple of the best movies from 2024 or 2023. I forget. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, I don't know if they've ever made a bad movie. And you have Gosling. This is going to be maybe the best movie of 2026.
News up. Got a poster for the Odyssey. Also a teaser that is playing in theaters right now. I think something has leaked online. I refuse to do that to Christopher Nolan.
I refuse.
I will wait until he gives it to us.
If the Lord Miller movie isn't the best movie of 2026, it's probably because the Odyssey is. This is one of those movies that I don't always agree with. Don't show me anything and I'll just show up. But when it comes to Christopher Nolan and the actors in this movie, I don't need to know any more. And plus, we already know a little bit what this is going to be because it's the Odyssey.
We've all read the book.
Yeah. I'll just show up in July of next year. I don't need to know anything more about this.
News up. Speaking of July of this year, Superman is coming out this next week, and James Gunn, who is the director / runner of DC movies, says that Adria Arjona would make a great Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Arjona, Adria.
I know that when it's a silent J in jog.
Ariona?
Yog.
Adria Ariona. She was Glenn Powell's love interest in that movie that should have been way better. Hitman. She would be pretty good. She's tallish too, like 5'7"ish, so that would work. She's also very attractive, so might look good in one of those suits. Goo. I don't care. I don't care who they cast. I don't. I really don't.
Okay, that's a really good opinion. Well done. News dump. The script for the Batman 2, the first version of it at least, has been done. They posted a photo online pretty much saying, get off D's nuts.
Kind of hate this because, the final script is like still 2 years away and they're not going to start shooting for like another 2 years. So this is just like all the plebs like us screaming about, where's our fucking script? They're just like, here you go. And the picture they posted also was just like 150 pages with a title page, but nothing actually written. That wasn't.
I was going to say, it'd be really funny if someone's like, open it up and show us. And they're like, no.
Prove it.
No.
Prove it.
It's just pictures of dicks. Those are the best kinds of foods. The ones that are shaped like dicks. Oh, happy 4th of July.
Oh, happy 4th of July.
Enjoy yourselves a hot dog today, a popsicle.
Yes. Smash a couple. You know what? Goop, Joey Chestnut returning, trying to capture 17th Nathan's Hot Dog Championship. Is he? Now, it's not a sport, but it is one of the hardest things people can do. On your list of greatest champions ever, like Mount Rushmore, is he up there?
He's on there. And actually, I'm going to ask you, we just watched F1. We just spoke about F1. What do you think is more of a sport? Driving cars or eating food?
They both push you to your extreme limits.
Yeah.
I think sitting in a car seat for 3 hours is hard, more so because it probably gets uncomfortable. It's probably harder to attempt to eat 70 hot dogs.
So here's the thing, though.
And you probably sweat more eating 70 hot dogs.
I think driving the car is more athletic because it's tougher for me, because I'd feel claustrophobic. I would kind of run out of steam around those laps. I don't think eating is hard. I think eating is easy.
There's a point in which eating becomes incredibly hard, though. And it might be the 3rd hot dog for some, it might be the 12th for others. But you get to a point where mentally and physically, you shouldn't be able to do it.
I don't know.
Joey Chestnut keeps doing it.
I slam 8 to a dozen hot dogs sometimes. And I only stop because I fear what people think of me.
I also think there's something to be said about, and now this is half tongue-in-cheek, we're talking about Joey Chestnut's dominance, but you and I recognize, and this helps with like baseball and talking about baseball eras, when someone is so much better than the next best in their respective field, there's something to be said about that. And Joey Chestnut is so much better than everyone else in that field. It's impressive. He did lose in like 2015, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But when you're that much better at everyone, trying to be the best at something, you're great. You're good at it.
Like, I ate 60 oysters the other day, and I only stopped because I could tell the wait staff was getting very annoyed by me.
Yeah, I like an oyster, but you like oysters too much, I would say. You're double gunning oysters?
I could probably put 3 in there and just slurp them down. I'm like a duck. I don't even chew.
You have a screw for a dick.
Don't make me show. But also, I love vinegar. I love like the malt vinegar. It's so good.
I find that most sauces that get served with oysters are heavy on the vinegar base.
Need the vinegar. Needs up. Coyote vs. Acme will get a panel at San Diego Comic-Con this year. It is also coming out. We have a date for it. We don't have it written down, but Catch Up Entertainment has given us a date.
I can't believe that it's actually happening. I mean, you 4 years ago are stoked. Was it 3 years ago? It's supposed to be a thing. Maybe?
I did tell you. I told you it was going to happen, but it didn't happen in my window for the movie draft, so I don't get points. But still.
You got this one. Now, if Dundee comes out, then we know something's really happening.
If Dundee comes out, all of you fucks out there, you all owe me an apology.
Here's my apology to you. If Dundee comes out, you can have it for 0 dogs in the given year.
I'll take it. I'll take it for the 0 dogs in the given year. That would be, see, this is the thing. And Matt Damon was right. If they still made these mid-budget comedies, Dundee is a slam dunk. Sending Danny McBride to Australia to learn the Australian ways from Australian actors, that's money. That's printing money.
I think you could have made Dundee in like 2012. It's too late now.
20 points. Can you tell me who wrote the movie Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles? Whatever the third Crocodile Dundee is, the one that came out in the year 2000.
I know the answer to this because I don't know if we've discussed it, but I either stumbled upon this, I know the answer to it, and I don't remember. I know it. Say it.
Fantasy guru Matthew Berry.
That's right. That's what it is. Fuck. I always forget that.
I don't think his name is on it because Paul Hogan is a dickhead and changed just enough of the words. Yeah. And like he didn't change.
Nudged him out of his 25%.
Yeah, like he didn't change the script. He changed just the right amount of the words so that he could say, this is my script.
Yeah, because notably, and they may have changed this, but notably for like award shit, you can only credit up to 4 people as writers. Yeah. Is that right? And Barry was one of the guys that worked on the early version of that script. So by the time it came out, there was enough influence on it that they kind of squeezed him out of it.
But it was fundamentally still the same movie. It's just that they had like a thesaurus out and they just changed words. News down. Looks like Sinners. They stole all their costumes from that Marvel. It was going to be nuts.
This is really bad news for the Blade movie.
Yeah.
So some of the costumes worn by the extras in Sinners were originally made for the Mahershala Ali Blade movie, which means Marvel is selling off. They got 1,000 plastic meatballs they're trying to get rid of, and Sinners took on some of them. This is real bad news for Blade.
It was quality on their end. So they said deal. News down. Vin Diesel says that Brian, played by Paul Walker, will return in the final Fast and Furious movie.
Speaking of movies I could give a fuck about, it's the Fast and Furious series. But good news, if you like the fast part and the furious part of the movie, which they've gotten away from over the last 8 movies, they are returning to car culture and street racing in LA, and apparently going to have a CGI Paul Walker in the movie. I don't know what they're going to do here.
Stealing DVDs and VCRs? That's what the first movie was.
The first movie came out in what, 2000? 2001?
Yeah, 2000.
I saw
one or two.
I saw Too Fast, Too Furious in the theaters in like 02 or 03, I think.
I saw Tokyo Drift and said, we have capped off this franchise. I don't need to go any further. It's perfect. I don't care how good the rest of the movies are. This is my final chapter.
I honestly think the greatest impact of the Fast and Furious series is that for eternity, the second movie, the first sequel in many franchises, we are going to try to make a Too Fast, Too Furious joke about.
Either that or making the word Tokyo drifting a verb. I'm out there Tokyo drifting.
I don't think anyone says that.
You don't Tokyo drift on the highway? That's why I got all my tickets. Sir, what are you doing? You know what I'm doing. Are you Tokyo drifting?
Yeah, right.
News down. Neil Druckman will not return to write The Last of Us Season 3.
Yeah, Druckman, famously the creator of the Last of Us video game series, has been working hand in hand with Craig Mazin to adapt it for HBO, and did for the first 2 seasons. He is stepping down as showrunner, creator of the HBO series, and leaving it up to Craig Mazin, and I think at this point they're deep enough in that they just have to do certain things, and like they are going to follow what Druckman has sort of pushed forward anyways. And Druckman's going to continue working on more video games, which I guess makes sense. That's what he does primarily. So I think it's going to be great. It's still in good hands.
News down. Coming back to theaters for its 35th anniversary on August 17th and the 20th is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Buy your tickets now because it is only in select theaters and tickets are going fast.
After we rewatched the first one a couple of years ago for your birthday, I don't know if I'm ever going to watch it again.
I am so excited to go with my family on the 17th. I have already bought my 3 tickets. We are in the final row. I am actually sitting behind a listener.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because they were the one. They were the one that alerted me as soon as it was available, because IGN, Screen Rant, all of those sites were posting it the Monday after it was announced on Friday. I had already bought my tickets on that Friday because of this listener.
Nice.
Who's like, hey, you got to buy these tickets. I bought the tickets. I'm sitting right behind them.
Love that for you.
I'm going to ninja kick the shit out of their seat.
Just throw popcorn off their head the whole time.
No, I'm going to be doing ninjutsu in the back. Hope there's enough room for activities. Also, I'm hoping I'll be able to I'm hoping that the eye slits in my mask are big enough for me to see through.
I have no comment.
News up. Celebrating its 30th anniversary is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Someone posted the opening clip the other day of when the Rangers, the first scene of the movie is the Rangers jumping out of a fucking plane. And they weren't messing around because Tommy has to stand out. He does by doing the coolest thing ever, getting on an airboard and pretty much snowboarding through the air to the ground.
Yeah, they're skydiving. Tommy sky surfs. It's fucking awesome. Sets the tone for the movie. We're action-packed.
Yeah.
We got a big budget. Let's fucking skydive.
Action-packed, and this is the 90s. Enjoy some Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That movie, I would say, if I had to make a list of movies I have seen the most in my life, like movies that I've seen at least, like, let's say 25 times, that movie is for sure on the list.
When is the last time you saw it?
Probably like 3 or 4 years ago.
I might have seen it in that same window. It's not very good.
It's not.
Not
at all.
It's a rough watch.
You know, I actually really like the first like 20 minutes when Ivan Ooze comes into the city and it's kind of spooky. And then they just go into the jungle and run into that Xena warrior princess lady. Get their
they learn their animal moves, and Adam is like, "I'm a frog."
There's a bit of a lull in the movie. Let's say
there's a little bit of a lull, and then the final scene, they have gotten rid of their costumes / practical effects with the Zords, and it's CGI, and it's 1995 CGI. Not great.
Like 3 years later, the CGI would have been good enough.
Maybe 15 years later. Like this is Spawn era CGI.
All this to say, we got jobbed because the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie that came out, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, with Elizabeth Banks and that guy that looks like Taron Egerton, but he's not. Yeah. He was in Stranger Things.
Not Zac Efron. Zac Efron.
He looks like a combination of Zac Efron and Taron Egerton.
Yeah. I think it was Screen Junkies in their honest trailer for the movie that might have done a supercut of just the Rangers going, yeah. There's a lot of it.
That'll be you during the Ninja Turtles movie.
It will. Me doing kicks, cartwheels, doing one-handed cartwheels. I've been watching a lot of the Thong Song music video.
Okay. Sure.
So Cisco style cartwheels, and then, kicks. I'll have my nunchucks. I wonder how many nunchucks... How many nunchucks are they going to confiscate? Do we get them back after the movie, or does it just belong to the theater?
I told the story the other day about how you ratted on some poor fella in the movie theater because he was wearing a backpack, and now that's going to be you.
It was a quiet place. It was a spooky era, and the guy had a giant backpack on, and he was looking around. I didn't trust it one bit.
You either saved lives that day or put that guy into permanent depression. One of the two.
Well, we'll never find out. Yeah. News up. Speaking of Back to the Future is now 40. July 3rd, 1985. Back to the Future.
I wouldn't call it the greatest movie of all time.
I would.
But I would not argue with someone that did call it the greatest movie of all time.
I would look at it. I mean, I think you can definitely put it in a top 10 scenario where movies like that or the first Jurassic Park are just, they're perfect movies.
Spectacles.
Yes.
Genre defining, and types of movies that filmmakers grow up on and spend their whole lives trying to achieve the feeling that movie gives you.
I was also so annoyed by the Bruins the other day, not only in their free agency signings, but they announced their new jerseys, and their new jerseys are their old jerseys. It's just the spoke B, but they've gotten rid of the black outline on the B, and they've kind of simplified their jerseys.
They've updated it.
And to announce it, they had Michael J. Fox. Cool, he's friends with Cam Neely, and it's a back and forth of like, hey, maybe we should do these old ones. I don't know, let's think of the future. And then Charlie McAvoy comes from the future back in time. Let's say he comes back from the future to talk to Michael J. Fox and give him a jersey. How is David Pastrnak and his number 88 not in this announcement?
Maybe he hates the team.
It is
Start that dialogue.
serving up on a silver platter. Do you know that in the movie, in order to go back in time, the DeLorean needs to go 88 miles an hour?
And what number does David Pasternak wear?
88.
Wow. Right.
Plus, I mean, no offense to Charlie McAvoy, he does not have the comedic timing that David Pasternak has.
Either it's one of two things, and neither is particularly great. So you talk about the Bruins free agency and the front office, and they haven't made a good move in years.
Yeah.
And this may speak to that because it was right in front of them. It writes itself, and they couldn't even come up with the
that tells me that they haven't seen the movie.
Or, which I don't know if it's better or worse, their star player who wears 88 wanted nothing to do with the production. It's one or the other.
It's got to be one of those two things because, like, it is the most obvious thing. When I was watching at the end, I'm like, where the fuck was David Pasternak? What is this? Because once again, Pasta is funny.
Right.
Pasta is into doing stupid skits.
Mm-hmm.
So, news dump. We have reports for a 5th live-action Transformers movie. It is in development. We do know that Josh Cooley is set to direct a live-action film. But the bigger news off of this is that Michael Bay potentially could return to the franchise.
I don't want you to mess the headline up, Goo. They're not set to make a 5th Transformer movie. There's reportedly 5 Transformers projects in development. There's already been a 5th.
Shit.
It's already been a 5th Transformers.
Are you sure?
Michael Bay has not directed since 2007's Transformers.
I thought he's done 4, hasn't he?
He might have directed the second one.
Didn't he go back to the Middle Ages with Mark Wahlberg?
No. You know what? I'm not going to say no. You could be right. The animated Transformers 1 is also in this Transformers universe, so I'm sure they have an animated project as well to leap off of that. 2007's Transformers film takes me back to a time and place. Obviously, I think about Megan Fox, Shia LaBeouf, Bumblebee. It is like the perfect encapsulation of 2007, and I love that movie. I unabashedly love that movie. They have had a hard time recreating the magic of that movie. It's not unlike the Jurassic Park franchise. I don't know. I'll see these stupid fucking movies.
What are you talking about? He did Transformers, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers Dark of the Moon, Transformers Age of Extinction, Transformers The Last Night.
Michael Bay directed all of those.
Yes, and he did Ambulance.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm looking at his IMDb right now.
He did that Ambulance movie. Wow.
He did Ambulance and 6 Underground.
So he's just not directed the last 1 or 2 then.
Right.
Okay.
But do you think what he needs for a success is to bring back Shia LaBeouf?
And
Megan Fox.
And John Turturro.
John Turturro.
And Josh Duhamel and Tyrese.
And what's his name? Who was thrown off a plane? T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller's in the first Transformers movie?
He's in one of the Transformers movies.
I don't think he's in the first one.
Just bring together a whole superstar Transformers.
Samuel Witwicky. You know who's great in the first movie?
Tony Hawkins.
His parents are awesome in the first movie.
Although, isn't Shia LaBeouf canonically dead in this franchise?
No, I think they just went away from him after the third movie.
You are the Transformers expert, and you have already proven yourself so in this segment. So,
because the second movie, they have Rosie Huntington-Whiteley as the love interest. And in the third movie, is Shia still in the third movie? What happens in the third movie?
I'm not the Transformers guy. You're the Transformers guy.
I think they bring Wahlberg in the fourth movie. And then you get the Haley Steinfeld Bumblebee spinoff as the fifth movie, I'm pretty sure. But then they did a regular Transformers movie again.
Optimus Prime, what are you doing? I love you. It's a line from one of those movies.
You do a really good Andy Samberg doing Mark
That's
Wahlberg.
the only way I know how to do it. Say hi to your mother for me. You know what I was thinking about the other day is how much Entourage has really shaped our lives. Yeah. It's really shaped our lives, right?
I hate that fucking show.
That's a thing, though. But you've seen every episode, right?
I love Ari Gold.
Yeah.
I love Ari Gold. I do reference Entourage more than someone should.
I think I have a podcast idea. shows that we have seen every episode of, but we don't necessarily like.
King of the Hill.
How I Met Your Mother.
Futurama.
I like Futurama, though.
I don't think I do.
It has peaks and valleys, but I do like Futurama.
I haven't seen an episode of Futurama in like 15 years. So
it keeps getting rebooted, so you haven't seen like 10 of the seasons.
Yeah. Simpsons for you?
I haven't seen every episode. I stopped in season 15 or 16. No, I stopped 19.
What season are they in now?
37. So I haven't seen half the seasons. I'd be lost. Oh, that's it. Okay. To all of you clickbait,
still on TV?
To all of you clickbait, yellow journalism pieces of shit out there, you IGNs, you Screen Rants, all of you, I don't care that Marge died in the finale of this last season. Number one, it is a flash forward episode. Number two, nothing that happens in any episode matters. Marge is not dead. Also, it doesn't matter. Stop telling me.
I'll abstain from commenting.
Simpson stuff. News up. Moving forth, Rob McElhaney will be known as Rob Mac.
Speaking of things that don't matter.
He said it was just to make it easy for people to not have to read his name and try and figure it out.
It's too late for this, Rob. Do this 15 years ago, my man.
That's the thing, too, is usually you do this before you become famous. So, like, he did a 90-second video being, like, explaining it, being like, look, first off, this isn't even the right way to spell McElhaney. It's been changed over time a million times because when you come over to America, they changed the name. And then he points out at the end, like, all the stars that are not going by their real names. But it's people that change their names before making a career.
Yeah. And most notably, for those of you that don't know, you might have been the person that told me this. When you join SAG, if someone already has your name, you have to pick a different name. So like Emma Stone, for example, already has someone else's name, so she had to be Emma Stone. Rob McElhaney is Rob McElhaney. He didn't have to change it to Rob Mac, and now he's just doing that just because.
Well, he wants to be a morning DJ. Back here with Rob Mac. Let's hit traffic.
This is terrible. Terrible brand.
It's I don't love it. I think whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't really care.
As a Mac, I could speak on this. I've been a Mac for, I don't know.
Have you ever thought
years?
I know that you've told us recently that you want to go by Jeffrey, but have you thought of maybe changing your name to Jeff Mac, just Jeff Mac, and you spell Jeff with a G-E?
I would never do that. In fact, if you spell Jeff with a G, come fight me.
News dope. It was announced, Hollywood Walk of Fame, and it was actually really funny how I found out. So the first one that I saw was Demi Moore, and I'm like, that's really good for Demi Moore. She's been acting for a really long time. It's nice that she's getting her cred right now. And then the next name up was, I don't know, 15-year-old Timothy Chalamet. I'm like, this is kind of perfect.
Demi Moore and Sarah Michelle Gellar are getting it long overdue. And then they're throwing him in there with Shaquille O'Neal, which, to be fair, he is a star.
Steal.
Miley Cyrus.
Was the original. Shaquille O'Neal was the original Superman.
Miley Cyrus, also well-deserved.
Hannah Montana.
And quite honestly, Chalamet's only been around for 10 minutes, and it's already deserved.
He's already been nominated twice for an Oscar. He's going to win a bunch. So, like, look, I get it. It's just, it was funny that I saw Demi Moore, and then Substance style. She's already being fucking moved out of the way.
Demi Moore at 102 had to do 8,000 movies. Tim Chalamet's been in 10 movies, and they're getting the same honor.
Like she's smiling with her walk of fame, and then this fetus walks over and nudges her out of the way. Although, so yes, you do need to have creds to do this, but you mentioned, paying your dues. Literally paying your dues. You get a walk of fame. That's the rhyme and reason
it's a certain
to it.
Threshold. Once you hit a certain number in your dues, they give you a star on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah. News dump. That's not the right sound. I'm going to let it play out, though. I like it. And finally, we have been given the 30... Well, we've been given the 100 best movies of the 21st century by New York Times. And this was people voting, I believe.
Yeah, so this is essentially the audience score. What over 200,000 people did on that New York Times website. If you saw me tweet out my top 10, it only lets you pick 10. So this is an amalgamation of everyone's top 10. I guess I don't want to start all the way back at 35.
Just do top 10. Just do top 10.
Well, I was going to say, because we get Into the Spider-Verse at 34.
Our producer's giving us one of these. So
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at 29. Dune Part 2, 27. The Departed at 24, 25, Goo. Inception, 24. To be fair, a lot of my top 10 is in this, so I appreciate that. Inception, 24. Oppenheimer, 23. Grand Budapest Hotel, 22. Arrival, 20. Get Out at 17. 2 Lord of the Rings movies in the teens. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, 13. And Glorious Bastards, Goo, 11, just outside the top 10. Coming in at number 10, Social Network. Number 9, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's a great movie. I don't know. I don't feel right about it in the top 10. Number 8, Spirited Away. What the fuck is that?
It's about a horse, I think.
Okay, throw that out the fucking window. Mad Max Fury Road at 7.
Hell yeah.
Are you shitting me? It's not even the best Mad Max movie. Not
So
even
what?
the most recent Mad Max movie. That's terrible. Dark Knight at 6. Interstellar at 5. Having Interstellar at 5 and Inception at 24 is insane. Swap those two. There Will Be Blood. Sure, I guess. No Country for Old Men is amazing. I'll give it that. Go at number 2 is Mulholland Drive. David Fincher. I get it. Number 2, though?
Yeah, it's a good movie. Also, it's people voting.
Yeah, which is weird why a Fincher movie would be in the top 10. I don't know. And then at number 1, now I agree. This is one of the few movies of the last few years that has gone up. Parasite, Bong Joon-ho, Korean movie, subtitled for English. It's a fucking fantastic
It's
movie.
really good, but
a movie that sits with you for a while.
I don't like the basement stuff. It's too in your face.
I mean, that's the whole movie. That's what makes the movie.
I like the idea of like knowing that people are underneath other people. I don't need to physically see them underneath.
So you wanted that movie to end after the second act?
I wouldn't have mind that. Yeah. These don't. Yeah.
I was going to say a movie that just missed out on my top 10 that I think more people should see, because I still don't think a lot of people have seen it, Goo. Jojo Rabbit.
That's a great movie. And Uncut Gems was also top 50, wasn't it?
Good one. Yep, another good one.
That was top 50, I believe. I did read through. I did the thing where I clicked through to how many of the movies I've seen. I think I've seen 50-something of the 100. You know who should be on here at number 1? Shrek 2.
It did come out, and this is since 2000. By the way. I don't know if we made that clear. Shrek 2 was what? 02 maybe? 03?
And then you know what should be number 2?
Shrek 3.
No, Shrek 1. Shrek 3. Let's not be stupid. Shrek 3 should be like 45 or something.
Sure.
And then Shrek the 4th, 34.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
all 4 in the top 35 though.
And then you go with the Will Smith fish movie. Fishtail? Shark Tale?
Shark Tale.
So that one you put in the 20s. Robert De Niro was also in there. B movie, the one with Jerry Seinfeld, that would be somewhere in the 60s.
Oh, I was going to say 71.
Then we look at the movie where Will Smith is a spy and he gets turned into a pigeon, somewhere in the top 10.
Oh, that movie came out like 4 years ago. Yeah, I forget what that's called.
Tom Holland and Will Smith, Hey, I'm a Pigeon. Oh, speaking of that one, Jack Black's Hey, There's a Clock in My Wall. That should be somewhere in the 80s.
Clocky Walls.
Can you think of any other movies that we're forgetting here?
No, I think you nailed all of them there.
I just nailed them all.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll do it for this news dump. Come over here. Okay, you're going to walk away? That'll do it for this news dump. We'll check you out at the end of next week. Happy 4th of July. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye. News
Bye.
dump. Say news dump.
News dump.
News dump.
What does news dump mean?